Everything. All right. Oh, of course. You wanted to dump the exposure, didn't you? Everything is not in its right place. Radiohead is wrong.
Damn it.
Everything
is slightly skewed and kind of fucked up.
is in the wrong place.
Welcome to the Dumpster Fire Dialogues. I'm Mike Cheney.
I'm Tim Schindel.
Cheers.
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 Cheers. Salute to you.
Delicious. It's hot as fuck in Ohio.
Yeah, it is.
Like, really hot.
I know. Don't
but
let these sweatshirts fool you. We are in a very nice climate-controlled area.
We're in a bomb shelter.
Yeah. We're in a bomb shelter in the desert.
We're going to podcast till the end of time.
In Ohio.
You'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's live broadcasting.
Where's that geolocator guy that's like,
Yeah.
oh, there's this, it's this time, and the sun isn't behind them, and there's this rock, and I can Google it. And
Yeah, he probably already knows where we are.
Yeah.
Our location's out there. Yeah.
Get that guy to
He's
like fly a drone for the military or something. Recruit that guy.
Yeah, you want to talk about some tism.
Deep.
He's not just risen you with the tism. He's at your door with the tism.
He'll drop off your packages a day early.
He's like, I looked through your garbage too. You have cancer. And you're like, wait, are you a doctor? He's like, no. But I can smell it on you and
I
your
just
trash.
know things.
Yeah.
What did we do today? We lifted this morning. Got a little lift in.
Mm-hmm.
You did some stuff. I also did some jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I went and taught. You taught.
Yep.
After the lift, helped the old shoulder there.
Yeah, how's it feel now? A little bit better.
It feels good. Like it's weird. Like, so I got in jiu-jitsu, like there's judo throws and stuff like that. So somebody did a Yoko Tomoya Nagi to me.
We won the war. It's a little flip-floppy sacrifice throw kind of thing.
So they take their leg and they pull me forward, but they take their foot and plant it on the hinge of my hip and like launch me.
Great way to throw someone.
It is. It's a great sacrifice throw. What would we say? Would that be a kamikaze throw?
Something.
We won the war. But I did not accept the throw as I should have. Luckily, I did not land on my neck, but I did land on the point of my shoulder, which is pretty gnarly.
Doesn't feel good.
No, it did not feel good, and I rolled through, and I intentionally started moving that arm to make sure that it wasn't separated. It hurt, but it is. I mean, it might be. I don't know. I don't care. It'll be fine.
You don't have any visual separation that you can see.
No, and I've had people touch on it, and they're like, "Yeah, that's a boo boo. It's probably just like a bone bruise. It hurts, but hasn't stopped me from
You don't
normal."
have a twin.
I was gonna say, yeah, you've got an evil twin from Granby Roll.
Yep. Freak accident.
What a way to find out your body's nah, we don't do that.
It's just nice try, dickhead.
Yeah. Not today, bro.
Yeah, I fully went into shock when that happened. I was just I started to black out and get nauseous, and I was like, uh-oh, this is real.
So it's been a year, almost?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Separated.
Yeah, last summer, I suppose.
Right shoulder, yeah.
Yeah, full, 4 fingers of separation from the AC joint to my delt. It's called a step deviation or a stair-step deviation because it looks like a fucking
yeah,
a stair.
It's like that episode of Family Guy where Chris has got that pimple, except it's a nodule on your shoulder. What are you doing, Mike?
Yep.
Yeah.
It has teeth and a spinal cord.
Yeah. It's his twin from the womb.
Yeah. I reabsorbed it. But yeah, I went from feeling like it was gonna fall off and pretty decent within 6 months.
Yeah, you're you really took care of it and made sure that it didn't prevent you from being doing normal stuff. You even trained a little bit responsibly.
Yeah, with people I trust.
Yeah, you would roll with me and a couple other people, but obviously we're favoring that side, not even attacking it or putting pressure on you in those areas.
It's nice
Yeah.
to have training partners you can do that with.
Yeah, because then you can actually continue to train and not, like, with this, like, I know I'm going to play a certain way with people that don't have scaling ability, and I'm going to be like, no, you're not going to do anything to me.
It's like,
I'm just going to sit over you and, like, stop you. Like,
we're not playing the game today.
yeah, I'm not going deep into the rabbit hole with you and, like, trying to figure out what you're doing. Like, nope.
Yeah. But I should have been in a sling and
Yeah.
should have taken care of it a little bit better on the front end. I did a lot on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
On the front end, I decided to go to Costa Rica and go surfing. So I was like limp arm doggy paddling against like really strong Costa Rican currents. I'm like, I can do this.
There are still warriors in this world. Just saying.
I stood up on the board. It's fine.
Yeah.
I still surfed.
That's and that's like one of those things, like, you, like, there were times I've been handed slings before, like, when I was in the military. Like, I had, like, not a similar injury, but, like, when I got in a car wreck, this arm and this shoulder were jacked up.
Yeah.
But it was deployment time.
And you're like, nah.
And I was, like, on the team that was deploying, and I was like, it's fine.
Yeah.
And, like, later on, like, this arm got injured again, and I went to the hospital, and they were like, here's a sling and some Advil. Yeah, I didn't wear that sling, and I didn't take the Advil. Like,
It's out of principle. You're like, fuck. I didn't really take a whole, like, so it wasn't painful after the fact, really. It was semi-painful to the touch, but, and then I didn't have full range of motion for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Then, I did some really specific strength conditioning shit that fixed it. And then back to walking on my hands and fucking pull-ups and all that shit that I thought I was never going to be able to do again.
Yeah, some of those injuries, like, it just takes time. Like, the shoulder, like, this side, like, I've never really had any more issues with it. Like, it's never limited me from doing anything, like, my flexibility and mobility, because I continue to, like, kind of just take care of it and, like, do things. Like,
yeah.
Not like, oh, I'm just going to go power bomb people into concrete with my shoulder. Like,
yeah.
But, like, moved it, took care of it, like, did stuff like you're talking about, like actually rehabbed it.
But you're also not made of glass. You know?
No, like, and you find most people are not, if they really, like, have that, like, inclination. But I don't know, it's interesting.
Yeah, there's some people that get a scratch and they're like, I gotta take 3 weeks off. Like,
mm-hmm.
And there's people that probably take it too far and they're like, I'm coming back later tonight. It's like, maybe just chill. Like,
the only time I ever worry about stuff like that is, like, it's like infection, like skin infections. Like, that's such a different thing. Like,
it is. It's a kind of different league of its own.
Yeah, like, I don't want to give anybody else staph. I don't want to give anybody else impetigo. I don't want to give anybody else ringworm. So if I have those things, like, yeah, I'll probably be gone for as long as it's, like, not under control.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. But joint injuries are a little more manageable. You can talk to people, use your words.
Yeah.
And
be specific with who you, like, choose. Like you were saying, like, you picked people to roll with that you knew would, like, you'd still be able to get, like, something out of it. You'd still be able to move and, like, activate the rest of your body, but, like, it protected that piece of your body. Like,
and that's something that I've been able to do for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at the old gym, we were injured all of the time because we were fucking beating the shit out of each other all the time. But it'd be like, all right, fucking neck today, fucking hip, whatever. Like, all right, we'll work around it. Yeah. That's also why a lot of us have, like, pretty well-rounded skills.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it's like, oh, okay, we have to accommodate and kind of curate experiences for people.
Yeah, it's definitely, like, even with me, like, being older, like, there's some shit that was already broke when I walked in the door.
Yeah.
Like, from my profession and stuff like that. So it was like, okay, like, I start working around that. And then it's like, once I became stronger, because there was a fitness, like, gap there too, like, some of that just kind of went away.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it was still there, like, how do I manage that but still do certain things?
Get fucking jacked. That's most
that's part of that. That is a good call.
Get jacked, like, around the injury.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, strength and conditioning, like, with age and with jiu-jitsu, like the strength conditioning is, like, I'm sure Doherty would agree. Like it's the glue, like that kind of like holds you together in those situations.
Yeah, most of the injuries you see in jiu-jitsu, like overall, are like overuse injuries.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can round out some of that by decent strength and conditioning routine.
It is.
Some things are unavoidable. Shit happens. Like, it's not ballet. Shit happens in ballet too. I just say that because some person I trained with years ago choked out a woman and was like, "Get up! It's not ballet." And I was like, "Whoa!"
Do I know this person?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But I just always make that reference. I'm like, it's not ballet.
It's pretty funny
because it's very funny.
It's very true. Like it's one of those things. Like, yeah, you ain't no ballerina.
So it's not ballet, but shit hurts sometimes.
Well, it's not ballet. I've known a couple of like girls who've done ballet. I'm like that. Like you have that image of like the Roscoe Roma from like John Wick and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, don't get me wrong, like ballerinas and like, I don't know what a male is who does
Ballerino.
A ballerina bro. All right.
A brolerina.
A brolerina. All right. A boy Tommy up there. He's doing little pirouettes, palays. Is not gay, all right? He likes it. He likes to move his body, express himself.
Mark Wahlberg talking about like sarcastically learning how to dance.
Yeah, exactly. But they were like one of the things they talked about. Like one of them was like she was an elite, like younger, like junior dancer. And she had like, she's like, oh yeah, my toenails just like fall out. Like from the like binding because like the like shoes they wear like bind their feet, but like the body control is very similar to like gymnasts or like even jiu-jitsu athletes, like where they like can like control their hips and like in controlled movements and like hold those like perfect poses and stuff like that, and for long periods of time.
It's pretty insane.
And they can like hop with like and like fully extend their body and stuff. It was interesting to like watch her move with regular shoes on even sometimes. Like, so while nobody was going to intentionally choke her out or hit her in the face, like there was definitely some like toughness that was inherent to like
absolutely
like binding your feet essentially in these like little like things,
especially during the wide toe box movement.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, look at these hot feet.
On.
Yeah,
you can
like,
see all the spaces between.
Yeah,
my
right.
toes.
Yeah, like
come on.
But yeah, like I can't imagine. That's I think it's something really funny. Like all the crunchy people are like, we need wide toe ballerina shoes.
We need to petition for this.
We need a petition for this. Can you imagine a ballerina with wide toes?
If her feet were the way they should be naturally.
She just looks. Means a whole new meaning to Swan Lake. It's just duck feet.
Yeah.
Just everywhere. These massive, like, splayed out toes and stuff. As opposed to these, like, slender lines that they create with, like...
Just basically these women run around in clown shoes.
Yeah, like...
flopping around. Clown ballerina, that'd be...
Clown ballerina. Yeah.
I'd like to see that. There's got to be, like, you know, there's, like, that banana baseball league where it's all fucking... There's got to be, like, some sort of, like, banana ballerina, like... Just a spoof show.
Just a spoof show, just some girls in like regular ass clown shoes.
They're like really good, but they just do goofy shit. Have a sense of humor with it.
That would be fucking hilarious.
I think we need to start traveling to like county fairs and like potato festivals and, you know, whatever festivals in some strange county and see what kind of sports they got going on.
Dude, have you ever been to a local rodeo?
Not a local one.
So this is many like high school days. I was hanging out with two friends and we were just driving and there was like lights and we were like, what's that? We pulled off and it was like a local rodeo and they were doing like bull riding and everything. That was the first time I ever saw like rodeo.
That's sick.
I think it was like, honestly, I think it may be the only, I don't think I've ever been, I never went to like a professional rodeo. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely would.
I went as a kid. It was
Did
sick.
you?
Yeah. They had it like nationwide or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking cool.
But yeah, like this was like local town, county, whatever. I don't know. Like, it wasn't big. There was maybe 70 people total there.
That's sick.
But like, they had the ring set up, they had the lights, and like they had their bulls, like, and they were like riding their bulls.
That's awesome.
It was wild. Like, we were there for like an hour. And they were like, all right, because I mean, it wasn't like they were charging people to like watch it. Like we just like walked up and like,
they're just like
hung out.
Boys want to hang out?
Yeah, no, it was me and 2 girls.
Oh, nice. Like,
but yeah,
you ladies want to hang out? You too, feller.
Yeah, you're like, you can leave though.
Yeah, you can get out of here, feller. Just get out
of here.
Leave your ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, bull riding is sick.
Yeah. It was wild, like, because it wasn't like a huge ring. Like, it was like actually like a pretty small ring. And they were getting after it. Like,
a lot of action packed.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember where that was. I mean, it was such a long time ago. That's probably not even a thing that happens anymore. I could be completely wrong.
In Ohio,
I mean, I'm sure it happens in Ohio, but this was like really like, this was maybe like a city's rodeo.
It's like, all right, boys, we're warming up.
Yeah, it may have been like the county we were in,
like an in-house tournament, but for
like
riding.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
like
pretty sick.
It was cool. Like, I mean, the people were super nice. Like, we just kind of sat on the bleachers and like, you could tell we weren't from there.
Yeah.
Like, we were in city clothes.
You're observing like sick.
Yeah. But
I'd like to go to a circuit or a rodeo, the monkey dog or the monkey pig rodeo.
Okay.
Or no, monkey dog rodeo.
Like the monkey dog. That's
like
like
little capuchin monkeys on like border collies and run them around.
I mean, okay.
I
You have my attention.
Yeah, I want to see that really bad. I've heard about it. I read about it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything in Ohio for it, but
Ohio. Why?
Yeah, you could get monkey dog rodeo.
We're from here. We need monkey dog rodeos.
I beg of you.
Yeah.
I would go to many more events if they had monkey dog rodeo.
Yeah.
Arena football halftime show should be monkey dog rodeo.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you're not going
tournament,
monkey dog
intermission,
monkey dog
rodeo. Make it a little more lively.
Yeah, no shit.
Make it a little more spectator friendly.
What was I just saying? I mean, you're not going to get arena football in Columbus. That's where we're at. Like, because if it's not ice hockey or soccer, no other professional sport survives.
That's
you could
true.
start I just completely lost something. Like, think of something like ridiculous, and it would survive here, but not football because of the school OSU.
Yeah.
Like, you're not getting any team.
Monkey dog rodeo could thrive.
Monkey dog rodeo might thrive. I don't know.
As if we need another project on our hands, starting up monkey dog rodeo.
I would be more interested in doing what Tackle Grapple Jiu-Jitsu is doing up in Toledo and starting like a series.
Yeah, that would be sick.
Like a city series, like where you get people to come in. I think that's one of the cooler things that's happening in Ohio right now because it's like continuous.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, Hudak, I love you, man. You're the fucking goat.
Got some cool shit.
Yeah,
going on
you're doing some fun shit up there, dude.
The Durango.
Yeah, like their school has, so it's Tackle Grapple Jiu-Jitsu, and they're in, I always forget the area they're in, but it's up north near like Toledo area.
They're up more toward Cleveland.
Cleveland, Toledo. Is there any difference?
I mean,
I'm kidding. Don't. I know there's a difference. I know everybody from those areas. Just calm down. But no, like, but they have a Durango in their school. They went from one location, they got a bigger location because they've been like growing, and like, so they have car jiu-jitsu every day of the week.
That's awesome.
And they have tournaments in the car. So like, they're running like a good jiu-jitsu program, and their dudes are doing really well at tournaments, but they're also just having fun.
Imperative.
Yeah, fun. Like the resources of like just being able to like grapple in a car, like it has real application for me because I fought people in cars.
Oh yeah.
Like
I have done it in a self-defense context.
Yeah.
Not a gamified context. I think gamified would be a lot more fun.
Yeah. Well, you did it at ECQC, right?
Yeah, we did like a certain section of like a different course because we had time at the end of the day, and like we kind of all got to run through.
Nice.
We broke down like his thoughts and techniques and processes behind it.
Yeah.
And I had like heard about it prior to that, but I'd never seen it in action. And I was like, and it kind of goes against what you'd think as like would work as a grappler.
Yeah, you've told me that it's like very counterintuitive, especially from like. So what we're talking about is Craig Douglas runs a course called ECQC, and part of it is in a vehicle.
Well, ECQC
or is there a
different
different
course?
Okay.
Yeah, it's sort of a preview to a separate course. I forget what the course is called though, but it's mostly like vehicle stuff, like fighting in and around vehicles. But like,
is it ECQC car?
Yeah, no. Uber.
Yeah. ECQC Uber, how to defend yourself against your Uber driver.
Which you might have to.
Facts.
Ward actually broke down like some of the context behind it, and, like things that would work and do work, and then I saw it and like understood how it broke down. I was like, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
It's very cool. But then you gamify it and turn it into like, well, you can use seat belts, back seat, fucking whatever you can in the vehicle.
I mean, like, they've made it a sport. I mean, car jiu-jitsu is a sport, and honestly, it's really entertaining.
Yeah.
But also, like, for me, like, having taken people out of cars, but also, this is the weirder part. Sometimes I have to, like, most people are like, oh my God, we got to focus on, like, in public safety. They're like, we got to focus on taking somebody out of a car. And there are aspects of, like, getting somebody in to a car to that. But, like, some of my job is getting somebody out of the building that we're in into a car, and they don't want any of it.
Yeah.
And, like, so, like, the ideas around it are kind of interesting. Like, depends on what kind of car it is. It depends on, is it a van? Do they have access to the driver? So if they're violent, are they going to be violent with the driver? Okay, can we put them all the way in the back and then, like, belt them? And then, like, that's kind of like a limiting factor depending upon their cognitive ability. Like, you name it, like, they're all factors.
Yeah.
Like, if they're with it doesn't matter where you put them. Like, they're going to have access to the driver, and if their intention is to harm themselves, they don't care about the driver.
Yeah.
So one turn of the wheel is gonzo.
Yep.
Like, for everybody. So
bad news.
It depends. It always comes back to that because
everyone just wants that clear cut answer, and I'm like, it depends though.
I mean, really, it's just like with what you guys do with KCC, it's a set of concepts, and like you can cobble together like an answer as things happen.
Yeah.
But even if you establish like some kind of dominant control, like there's always going to be an extraneous factor that's going to impact those decisions.
Oh yeah.
So environment, outside people, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
that's one of my concerns with stuff like that is like other people.
Yeah.
Always other people being
other people are always a concern. That's one of the things with what I do as far as like public safety. Like, we talk about like rendering aid, but rendering aid if it's safe to.
Yeah.
Like, so it becomes like a very like real problem when like you have unknown factors of like whether they're looky-loos or they're like related to the person. Like, that's where you're kind of like, okay, like I have to be mindful. And people are like, why did you act? Well, because this person is aware of them. Well, they weren't doing anything yet.
Yeah.
What if I go in to do something else after I've done something to debilitate that person, and now I'm rendering aid, but now they perceive it as a different kind of problem. Like, they see it as me being more violent, even though I'm actually like doing like basic life-saving steps, and they've never seen that. Because like BLS stuff looks intrusive. Like, you're touching somebody, you're like, you may sternal rub them, you may like push and jostle them. Like, it looks, from an outside perspective, if you've never been exposed to that kind of stuff, like, you wouldn't be like, oh, they're initiating potential life-saving steps and leading into CPR. Like, if I come up and sternal rub somebody, it looks mean. Like, if I come up and like touch their face or like touch their arms, and, like hit them, like shake them,
give them a little something.
Yeah, like those things like look aggressive. Like, and if I've already been aggressive, they just think it's aggression.
Yeah, just like excessive.
So, yeah, they're like, oh my God, he's just fucking with their body. Like, no, like I'm maybe trying to like assess their safety.
What's going on?
But that is something you have to think of if you're dealing with outside factors in a public safety context.
Yeah.
So
I've gotten to see like vehicle extraction chunks of stuff and like what like experienced just like street cops have done and like, developed their own processes for, and like it makes a lot of sense when it comes to like things that would be maybe a little bit less than common sense. You're like, well, this can lead to this, and then you have a way bigger issue on your hands, and then or if you just kind of fucking stop them right here and then kind of deal with it that way, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I know that even the Gracies have dipped into that area as well, of like, if you use jiu-jitsu to get somebody out of the car, you decide which Gracie that is.
Sorta.
I love all of them. I love all the Gracies. They're all great. None of them are scam artists. So, hashtag opinions only. So,
clip it.
Yeah, clip it. Clip it. Clip it.
Clip it. Make it viral.
Yeah, make it viral. The Johnny Sins of Jiu-Jitsu.
Whoa.
Whoa. A different outfit for every profession.
Have challenge coins from every agency imaginable.
Anyway, that little dark rabbit hole there, just
inside baseball.
In touching on the humor of...
There's this dude, I don't know if I've told you about him, and I think I've told you about him. He was like kind of involved with that stuff.
Okay.
And he broke off and is like, it's terrible, it's bad. And like,
oh, you're talking about the dude that burned his belt and everything?
Yeah.
Sean told me about that dude.
His initial like stir up with it, you're kind of like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Huh? Like, and based on some of the experiences I've had, I'm like, all right, I'll listen to it.
Yeah, you're like, I'm
intrigued. Like, and then I listened to it, like a longer kind of form thing, and I like turned it off after.
Yeah.
I was like waiting for it to turn into something, and it just never did.
You're like, I'm waiting for the teeth here, man.
Yeah, and I was
and all I'm getting is toilet paper.
Yeah, I was like, this is. I was in a hotel room somewhere.
Yeah.
I was waiting. I was like, just killing time. So I was like, I may as well turn this shit on and see.
I listened to it as well.
Yeah.
And all I heard was.
I just didn't. There wasn't any meat to it. There wasn't anything substantial.
Like.
Enough, I guess.
Maybe I'm kind of wondering if that was all he could say.
Possibly.
And here's why I say that. I have no doubt that man signed NDA upon NDA upon NDA and like has like a non-compete. And so like that, like, I mean, that was like a Shirley Temple, like that was like asking for an old fashioned and getting a Shirley Temple at a bar. And like, it was weak sauce. You were like, what is it? Like, why you burned your black belt? Like, okay. Like, I know, so we know people that have like touched up with that dude, like on professional courses and stuff. Like Sean knows that guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like knows him, like has his number, I think.
Really?
Yeah. So like, he was like, I think there's probably something to that. And I was like, probably. But I'm wondering if that's as that diaper shit that he put out. It's like a soft two, like just meh, is all he could do.
Yeah. I almost want, like, I'd like to know everything, which is probably hard to ever get.
Say it on Patreon, bro. I'll pay the $5.
Yeah. Put it behind a paywall.
Yeah.
But what was put out there, I was just kind of like,
Yeah, I watched a lot of it too, and I was like, this is weak. Like, if this is all you're complaining about, like, I feel like there's probably like dates and times and receipts, but it's probably like an NDA that was signed that you'll get the full weight of our organization if you say anything.
Yeah.
And his lawyer was like, boy, you don't want to do this. Like,
let's get out of here.
Yeah. You need to, no.
I don't know. There wasn't enough for me to be like, more, yes, and like, which I think was sort of the point of it, but it fell on a lot of deaf ears.
Yeah.
Some people just didn't want to hear it, and then other people were kind of like, like they came into it with an open mind, and they were still like, meh.
I'm sure that dude has a family to feed and kids, and so he's like, I can't come with receipts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's Brazilian. Of course he's got, like, at least 3 wives. So, maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe. But
there was, like, nothing that was even, like, really, like, accusatory either, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so.
And that's kind of what I mean. It seemed like just dissatisfaction with, like he got, like, a bad review at the end of the year and was like, fuck it, I'm going out guns blazing. Like,
yeah, something. Yeah, there's just, like, it smells. Like, it's just kind of like, there's more to this. But I'm also like, I'm not digging in anymore. Like,
no,
I don't care.
No.
I'm not associated with it in any way. Like,
well, the other thing, too, is, like, we know some people that know, like, those people, and I haven't heard, like, horrible things. Yeah. There's some questionable decisions, but also, like, personally, some of those people have been like, nah, they're okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
so, I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know if I really want to either, so it's like,
I don't
think it would change that much.
No, and I'm going to decide on, like, the things that I disagree with those people on. They're long-term doing a disservice to their own service.
Yeah.
They're trying to undersell what it really takes to be proficient with martial arts, which they've done. They've become proficient, and then they're going out and selling proficiency in, like, for $49.95 and an hour of your time once a year, you too can be a magician at polishing glass top tables.
Yeah,
like, no, you can't.
Yeah,
like fuck off.
But there's sort of like the jiu-jitsu, it cures all and, like, is everything, and it's like, I don't agree with that. Like, it's not a perfect anything.
I mean, that's why stuff like the Gracie Challenge died, because people adapted to what the Gracie Challenge was, and they amalgamated wrestling, jiu-jitsu, judo, striking, Muay Thai, boxing, like, all into a thing that could beat with, like, a true mixed martial artist can just take it and dismantle it. And it's not like, oh, this is style, it's a this, it's a that. And I'm assuming that's probably why, like, Hickson was so dangerous, because he was a true mixed martial artist. Yeah. It wasn't just jiu-jitsu. Like, he took jiu-jitsu and, like, took all the, like, strong parts of other arts that fed into his game, and was like, I'm going to beat the fuck out of everybody.
But, I mean, you look at some of the stylistic evolutions of things, it's like, it's not just, like, Johnny from down the street who won some Golden Glove shit. It's like dudes who've been boxing since 5 years old and are very fucking good at it. And, like, if they learn some sprawling and takedown defense, they're a motherfucker to deal with if you're, like, a true grappler. Like, or unfortunately, Kron Gracie had to deal with that the past few fights. Like, he's had a rough go.
And I mean, Kron Gracie is from a jiu-jitsu perspective is
phenomenal,
elite.
Yeah.
And, like, no, I'm not, like, like, he could beat my ass in any format. Like, I'm not, like, thinking that I could. It was like, you take that idea of, like, true MMA, and, like, you look at somebody like Daniel Cormier, who's an elite wrestler, and then adapted to striking, and is, like, unstoppable. Like, stuff like that. Like, those people, like, taking, like, wrestling as a base, that, like, tenacity that, like, it takes to, like, wrestle and keep square and, like, do all that stuff and, like, do takedowns, and they add in striking and they get proficient because their athleticism is undeniable. And you're like, okay, like, so.
Well, I mean, it evolved. Like, everyone wanted to see it evolve, and it did.
Yeah, it did.
And now it's, like, teetering the other ways, where it's, like, highly specialized jiu-jitsu is kind of, like, taking back over a little bit.
Yeah.
It's because you have, like, certain, like, MMA divisions that, like, aren't getting the people in butts into seats and shit, and then, like, now people are, like, super interested in, like, UFC BJJ and, like,
Yeah.
They're getting more interested in like submission grappling.
Well, that's like with that UFC BJJ, like Jason Nolf, who's like, I mean,
one of the best wrestlers to
one
walk
of the
the earth.
one of the best wrestlers ever. Like you can see like how his body moves. Like he's so athletic, so amazing. And then like you put him up against somebody like Andrew Tackett, who's one of the best jiu-jitsu players at his weight category. Like I think they're middleweights, but like Andrew Tackett has a feel for not just takedowns and like the rolling of like some of the like different kind of European style wrestling, but like his is like a true like just flow of like I have a feel for what's happening and I'm going to adapt to it and on a submission, not a takedown and a pin.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's like it's not like he's never been in that situation before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like he's understands what a fireman's carry is and can tilt his hips a certain way to make it not happen, and then have a bit of a scramble afterward to create a submission situation.
Yeah. And it's like Andrew Tackett, all he did is he's like, cool, he's going to fireman's me. And as like you can see the like in midair, he's like just shucks him like an inch off balance and takes his back, and you're like, oh shit. Like that's wild.
Yep.
Like
that's where I'd say like some of the on the fly game style training like helps you adapt to that shit.
Yeah.
Which wrestling does too. Like they do a ton of stuff like that. But
well, I mean, considering where Nolf came from, he came from Penn State, which is CLA. Their school.
They play ball. Yeah.
Their wrestling room, according to all reports, is all ecological, the dirty word, and CLA based, and that's why their athletes are so adaptable to situations. Like they're not reading a series of movements, they're reading the situation and feeding off of the information and just making it happen.
Real-time calculation.
Yeah.
Not just like I've done this 10 million times, it's going to work. Oh no.
Yeah, they're not enforcing any kind of will, they're like reading what's happening to the individual when they touch up.
Yeah.
And they know their own limitations, so they work around. Like, it is massively interesting. Like,
it's very cool. Yeah, that's really what it comes. It's just like it's fascinating.
Yeah,
it's fascinating to watch in real time.
Mm-hmm.
But I also still think like having a wrestling base will cover your ass in a lot of. I mean, it all depends. You know, it depends.
Well, I mean, it depends.
How many times a week you train, or where you're at, people you're surrounded with.
Well, I mean, like you take it like that kind of like read, and like like the feel for it, like when you touch somebody like J Flow or like interact with somebody like him, like it's like dealing with somebody who has all the stand up in one thing, and like his movements are just so like they don't seem normal because they're just like pure flow. Like he'll enforce a little bit of his will, but if you stop him, he's like, cool, that's fine, and then he'll just like take you down.
Yeah.
And it's like the most gentle thing ever. It could be brutal, I'm sure, like if he wants it to be, but like
he's able to curate an experience for himself, others, and everyone in the room too.
And like
when you're that good.
Yeah, and it's like I had a conversation today with one of the students I had in my class because he has a little bit of training, which is not normal for our classes, and he was Todd was telling him like, hey, like the new thing is like what Justin Flores is teaching. I'm like, there may be casual people watching Justin Flores because he coached Ronda Rousey. He did all these things, and like the dogs are going crazy. But like that idea that like space in certain areas of people playing this game are not a good thing. Like they can throw you now. Like they can do half tie toshis, uchimatas, and stuff like that. Like they may be fading away from something that looks detrimental to them, like giving you their back, and then they just come back with their hips and fire, and you're up in the air.
You are fucked.
Yeah,
and
like
if you don't know what's going on, you're gonna be feet to the ceiling. The film will pause and be like, I bet you're wondering how I got here.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, like I was showing him some of that, like, hey, like if I was like, be careful here, like reattach, because if you feel me run away, like I'm gonna launch you, and I'm not that good. Like
yeah, well, like there's people like that train with me who really good stand up, and like are able to take coaching like that and turn it into something for themselves very quickly.
Yeah.
I got skied the other day. Remember? Like, it was 6 a.m.
Oh, yeah,
you were
yeah.
There.
Yeah, I was there.
I was just like, oh, like I got cleanly tossed. I was like, yep, money.
Yeah.
It was straight from the weekend. It was straight from that seminar.
Yeah.
I was like, good job. You did.
Yeah, the same person did pretty much a similar thing to me. Like, I didn't think about this, and then we talked about it, and I just did it to you, and I was like, I felt it. Yes,
yeah, I recall.
Yeah, I didn't hear that conversation, but it tracks what you're saying. Because, like, I was doing something that he normally doesn't read very well, and, like, basically, like, turned my back to, like, disrupt his hips. And he was like, oh, your back's there.
Nice.
Wham! And I was like,
it was, I can tell how cleanly someone got me by how my break fall is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was turned over slapping before my legs even turned over. So I was like, oh, shit, my legs are coming now. Boom, boom. I had like a secondary break fall. I was like, you fucking got me.
Yeah, he got me. Yeah.
That's clean.
That's funny.
I appreciate. It's fun.
Yeah. A good throw, like a good controlled throw when you can, like,
break fall out of. It's great.
Yeah, like, you understand what's happening. Like, that is fun.
It is.
Like,
yeah, bad throws are bad throws, and bad shit can happen, and blah, blah, blah. But, again, trusted training partners and all that jazz.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can trust, my purple belts to toss me.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Dogs are going nuts.
Crazy. But no, there's definitely some interesting, like, as far as stuff like that, like, out there, like, you're right, like, jiu-jitsu is kind of, like, on the rise, which is interesting. Like, again, like, it's
I wish I was 10 years younger. I'm glad I started when I did and did the stuff that I've done, but
yeah. But
now there's some big money in it,
Now there is, yeah, for sure. I mean, I know even, like, locally there's been money thrown, like, a lot of different things.
It's almost become, like, not a standard, but it's, like, paying. Like,
yeah, like, you can ask that now.
Some people do, like, they will, depending on who they're getting, too. Like,
for sure.
The more stuff you have under your belt, you can definitely start asking for things and stuff. Potentially money.
Yeah. Well, and, like, some of the land, like, even since I've started, like, some of the landscape in our area has changed. Like, there's a place that's just for rolling, and I've been going there, like, because it's one of the opportunities I have to train with one of our friends, which is Sean. Like, I enjoy training with him. Like, he is unique in our local community, like, because of his skill set and stuff like that. Like, I work with him a lot. Like, I work with him, like, at our actual job.
Yep.
But, like, getting the opportunity to just, like, train, because, like, I touch up with somebody who's not my size but can do things to me that you would be like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, no, like, well, it's his level of skill and, like, understanding of the body. Like, so it's always good to have that person to, like, train with.
Oh, yeah.
And so sometimes we'll train for an hour and just go through different things. Like, I want to do this, and I'll be like, okay. Like, and it's not, he's not, like, coaching me. He'll give me, like, pointers, but, like, he's not, like, coaching me through it. He's just like, you're doing this, and it's like causing, like, you're causing yourself a problem, and it's helpful.
Yeah.
Like, or he's like, I'm fucking this up. Can you help me fix this? And I'll be like, okay. So, like, I'm helping a higher belt, like, deal with a problem they're dealing with because they're, like, sacrificing something. And it's like, all right, like, so it becomes, like, interesting because now you're, like, working through problems. So,
and that's, like, I don't agree, or, like, you have, like, 3 white belts, a blue belt, and a black belt in class or something. It's like, I don't agree with, like, I only roll with high belts and blah, blah. Like, it's like, you don't think that person is going to give you some sort of reaction? Like, put yourself in a position to have a reaction, and then you have to deal with it. Put yourself in a really shitty spot. Like, work out of it.
Well, I mean, and that's, like, the culture at the school, and this is something we've talked about ad nauseum, but, like, the reason that I've been able to learn is because no higher belt is like, you're a white belt. I've never gotten that, like, ever. Like, even when I first started, I was rolling with high belts, and then it became, like, the deeper I get into it, like, they're like, you want to roll again? Like, they're asking me to roll because it's I can give them something. Like, yeah, like even if it's not a complete, like I can frustrate them somewhere that they may need to like all right, cool.
Like you can present your half guard. Like you can keep people in half guard. Yeah. People are like, God, I can't pass Tim's half guard. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, you got to figure it out. Like,
you got
to piece it apart and go slower and, do things that are like probably uncomfortable to you at the time. But like over time, those things will go away. And you're like, all right, Tim's got a fucking sticky half guard. I know I have to do this, and this. Oh, shit, he still got me. And then maybe it's like, I spent 3 seconds less in Tim's half guard today. Like, that can be your victory. Like,
yeah.
And then over time, your half guard evolves and their escapes, and it builds into a thing. Like,
well, and like I'll even pick some rounds and I'll completely abandon half guard just to not do it.
Yeah.
Unless somebody does something that I am truly not expecting, and then I'll be like, "Oh, you're trying to be violent," and then I'll put you into something that like where I know I can control you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
that's just like people like say I'm like really strong. I strength train. I'm strong, but I'm not like holding them brace on their body, and I'm just chilling. Like I'm not exerting physical force. And they're like, "Oh my God, I can't move." I'm like, "So I got you in the right spot." Like,
you're using pinning control, and then like the funny thing is like I've felt you like turn your like strength on, and I'm like, this is way more terrifying. Like, like you've swept me before, and I'm like, oh, that was like, and I was like, okay. Like there's like this other layer, but like that feeling of like, no, that's just good pinning.
Yeah.
And then like if you get out of it, like the person, like you'll just be like, okay.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm happy with the next response. Like,
yeah.
But that just comes from a lot of training and training with different people and training with white belts and training with whomever at a ton of different energy levels, at variable energy levels. And there's some, murder rounds with people, but then a lot of it is like, yes, I like figuring shit out. And then sometimes you got to fucking, flip them.
Yeah.
And that's just the name of the game.
And it is like, like it's fun to just figure out the puzzle sometimes. Yeah. But yeah, like if I receive violent intentions, I'm like, I'm just gonna revert to a full guard or half guard with you.
That's what I tell people. I'm like, rolling all this shit is great. Doing cool moves is fun. Sometimes people get a little out of hand. And you have to fucking defend yourself first. Like that's the first line of all of this shit. Yeah. Like I'm not saying like they spiked you on your head and it's like, well, why'd they get to your legs and why they just that, like they're a problem with certain areas. Like avoid that area. Yeah. Or get yourself into a certain spot where you don't have to deal with that. Right. A lot of it's just distance management. They're at this range and they can do these things to me. I'm gonna get really fucking close to them or really fucking far from them.
Yeah. Or like certain people have shown me like what their tactics are, and so I'll just be like, I will look at them now and be like, I'm gonna do this and this to you, and they're like, what? I'm like, this is the attack you want. I'm not gonna let you do it. I'm gonna pin your arm, or I'm gonna keep distance, or I'm gonna pop my hips in to trap you so you have no leverage on me. And they're kind of like,
that's like what most of that KCC is. It's like, you're pushing, I'm gonna pull. You're pulling, I'm gonna push, and I'm gonna fill space and not necessarily let you do the things that you want to do. But yeah, push and pull. It's all that shit.
Yeah.
But it depends, so.
That's.
I'll boil it down to something binary and then say it depends.
It depends. It's either 1 or a 0, but it's
it could be a 2. So.
But quantum mechanics comes through and just brrr. It's this and this and then brrr. It's all of the things.
Yeah. And that's not like when I get to like a seminar or something, I'm like, this is how it works and this is the shit and blah blah blah. It's like, these are our thoughts and opinions and we put a lot of time into it and blah blah blah. And we're also like, if you find something, pick it apart. Like, talk to us about it. Like yeah, you probably can do that. Like, you probably can just pick them up and spike them on their head there. Like, good, do that if you can. Not everyone can. And maybe there's a day that you can't, and you have to do the other thing that we just taught you.
Yeah, what if you're hurt?
Exactly. Like that's my point too. Is like I've had dudes that are fucking huge, and I'm like, what? I mean, and then they're like, oh, I have a weird hip. I'm like, all right, so like, what if you can't sky someone that day?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do after that? Like, you have to scale it a little bit.
And that's like just anything, like being able to like have like a workaround. Like, it's something you and I were talking about this morning. Like, there was a call I was on, and I ended up in like a dog pile. Well, I ended up at the bottom of the dog pile, and my spine got compressed.
Yeah.
And like, I walked around for 2 years like that, still fighting people, not training like I am now.
Yeah.
Just unhealthy, unhappy, overweight, and like finally after 2 years, like my back was like jacked up enough that like I had to do something about it.
Yeah.
I didn't have surgery. I don't recommend spinal surgery unless you're like your disc is just like mush. Then you need to go to the hospital. But
yeah,
like
you've done a lot, strength conditioning. You've trained a lot.
Yeah.
Fix your shit up.
Yeah, I have. Like my lower back, my flexibility, like my mobility has like improved, but also just like I was moving a lot before that. Just not. I didn't have like quite the depth of cardio that I needed to like drop down and cut weight in certain ways and stuff like that. Like,
yeah.
And that's what jiu-jitsu afforded me. That and like true understanding of like manipulating like human body and like learning like what that means and like getting deeper and deeper and deeper into that like world. So,
and that's like going back to like training injured with proper people. Yep. Well, it's like that's another way to mitigate all that shit. It's like you're at work, you're gonna have to probably do some shit still. Like you can't just be like, oh, sorry person, I can't deal with you today.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, sorry guys, I can't support you.
Yeah, like oh, you
like,
gotta get in there.
I can't be the leader that you need me to be today. Like that doesn't work out.
Not a good look. So like,
no.
yeah, it's not the most pleasant all the time, but like there's ways you gotta deal with that shit.
It's fucking brutal sometimes.
Yeah.
But
then it's also just like be an adult and be like, all right, that's enough. Good, comma, enough. Not good enough. Good, comma, enough.
Yeah.
Good, enough.
Good,
I'm done.
enough.
So, and I don't personally run to the doctor very often. Like, I try to avoid it when I can, and probably too much, but like, I'm the first person to be like, go see someone, get it figured out. Like, I'm not a professional. I'll tell you what I think you should do, which isn't educated or good. So go see a doctor, then talk to me.
Well, it's like with the shoulder thing, like landed and I was like, I'm going to move. And if that makes it worse, okay. I moved. It didn't make it any worse. Okay.
Slightly improved even.
Yeah, like blood kind of like
nice.
flowed back into it, and like I was like, all right, like I can like do all the things. Like there was like a little popping, like just now there's like a little pop, like oh well, like it. So it was like I continued the round. I think we had like 2 minutes left. I continued. I first of all communicated to the person I was rolling with, like, hey, this happened. I think I'm okay. And they're like, okay. Continued, like finished the round. Like there's like, it would have been probably pretty apparent to me. Like I probably would have gone into shock. Like what happened to you? Like when a full separation. Like
I was trying to get back up to get back in, and I was like, and I started blacking out and started pouring sweat, and I was like nauseous. I was like, maybe I should sit down for a sec.
Yeah.
And then I got up after class to try and drive home, and I was like, I'm blacking out again. I have to call Brooke. I was like, fuck. I was like, this is actually a problem. And I was like in denial.
Well, and you may have been in, like, it was shock denial, but like I think part of it too is like you've experienced high levels of pain. And so you're like, nah, this is pain. You like recognize what it was, but you're also like, is it that bad? And your body's like, no, motherfucker, it's that bad.
Sit down.
Yeah, like just
like
stop.
If you're not gonna stay down, I'll put you down.
Yeah.
I stood up and I was like, oh no. I like almost threw up when I got in the car, and I was like, all right, this is actually a problem.
This is real. Yeah, this is real.
Then I didn't go to the doctor. And then I didn't wear a sling. Went to Costa Rica. And then I was like talking to my friends that were down there, and like one of them helped work it out, and there's pictures of them like putting their fucking foot on my head and yanking my arm, and, like, not actually, but there's like 3 or 4 people like holding my arms in positions as they're like jamming shit in, and like,
yeah,
it was painful, but it helped a lot. It was tremendous. I would do it again. I had a few cocktails, so that helped. They had also had a few cocktails, which is probably why we were doing that in a bar in Costa Rica, but it was very fun. Fond memories.
Say what you will about the poison known as alcohol, but the natural ability to anesthetize you is
it's real.
One of its gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get that cowboy cough syrup in you, you'll be fine. Get some grandpappy.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw, motherfucker.
But yeah, like that whole like idea of like you must go to the doctor. You don't have to. And we like train with doctors. Like it's not like they're bad people. Like, it's not what we're saying.
No, they'll even be like, it's not. You didn't need to come see me. Like there's times I've been to doctors and they're like, you could have done this. I'm like, fuck. And I spent $200 because I was scared. Like.
Yeah, I mean, like.
I get that, but like, if there is a problem and it is bothering you, yes, go see someone. But it's like, fucking, I don't know.
Yeah, like
you're probably fine. I always say like. And this is, again, totally an uneducated, stupid thing. But I'm like, your leg popped, 1 or 2 or 3 pops. I'm like, 1 pop, you're fine. 2 pops, 3 pops, maybe go see someone.
But this leg, like, I've had popped. Like,
oh, yeah.
And it wasn't like I was just like, oh, I'm going to let it pop. I was just like, it happened. And I was like, tap. And they were like, I was like, tap, ha, ha. And they were like, are you okay? Because, like, I don't normally do that. And they were like, and I was like, it was 1 pop, and they're like, all right.
Yeah.
And they're like immediately re-engaged.
Yeah.
Like they, like, also I understood who and what I was playing with. Like they're a dangerous animal. Okay. Like it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like I'm just gonna break this person. Like no. Like we were playing the game.
Yeah.
Like
and it's exactly. It's like it's a contact sport where you're trying to attack joints and throats and legs and like. Well, I mean, shit's gonna kind of go sideways because they're making it go sideways.
Yep.
Yeah, shit's gonna happen.
It's like we're talking about the UFC BJJ thing. That one dude who like did not want to give up his arm, and his elbow got dislocated.
I've had that.
Yeah, you've had that, and like they're kind of like he's like, luckily it's a dislocation. I'm thinking like, I mean, yeah, it's not a break. Like I get it. Like. It just means they're going to, like, cut and back in, and, like, that's it. Like, yeah.
It does not feel nice.
No, I mean, I watched you get your arm dislocated, your elbow dislocated.
Mine went right back in.
Yeah.
And, like, on its own. I didn't have to get it, like...
Yeah.
I didn't have to Mel Gibson it in the wall and just, like, hit it on the fucking door jamb.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like... But I'm sure I've had broken bones. I've never been diagnosed with a broken bone. Sprains, dislocations, separations, things, but never been like, oh, this bone is broken. I've also skipped the doctor on plenty of things, for like my feet and legs and shit.
But, oh yeah, like my toes and stuff. Like,
yeah, I'm not going to
I'm
get
not
my
going
fingers
for
set.
Being broken fingers or toes, like whatever.
So it's like
click, like okay.
Yeah, like
tape it together.
My wife could barely get my wedding ring on because my fingers. She just had to like spit on it and like.
That was as soon as it happened. I was like,
yeah, I got the knobbly ass knuckles.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, I was like, I love you.
But no, like I never really had any broken bones, and then like I broke big toes, like everything, like whatever, like, and I just kept training, like.
Time I spent kickboxing, like I'm sure I did something, you know.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Well, and then like you're talking about like leg locks, like I'm sure I've had like my metatarsals broken from like leg locks, like.
Or at least it's not enough to make me not walk weird, or you know, like I'm walking fine. It's sore and it heals after X, Y, and Z amount of time.
Yeah.
Or the pain goes away. I don't know if it heals.
I've like kind of like walked through it, and somebody's like, "Why are you walking a little funny?" I was like, I got my foot popped at jiu-jitsu, and they're like,
I've gotten flying scissor takedown, like people, total accident, like I don't know what happened. Like again, I didn't go to the doctor. I should have. That one I probably should have went to the doctor for. But again, I was fucked up for a minute, but
That's your hip, right?
yeah, hip and knee and ankle on this whole left leg.
Yeah.
But again, it wasn't to the point where it's like hanging off of me where I'm like, oh, this is bad. It's just like, this is so painful.
Yeah, like, this sucks.
But then I've also seen breaks on videos, and I'm like, oh, that's fucking wrecked. Like, that is I've seen breaks in person.
Yeah.
Where they're not break falling properly. I saw a dude's arm get accordioned, like in like 2 compound fractures, like in his forearm, like because he stuck his arm out during a throw.
Mm-hmm.
I was warming up to go onto that mat, and that happened in the match before me. And I was like, I was like, Jesus Christ!
Get somebody clean the blood up. Yeah.
So.
That's different. That's like
yeah,
protrusion and like
for
recording.
Sure.
Like
never had that. Thank God.
Yeah.
Knock on wood. You know,
Yeah,
fucking goddamn. But and like I, compete against some nasty motherfuckers and shit.
Yeah.
So it's like I almost expect certain things, and it's like thank God.
Was reading something that said like, don't put yourself in positions where your safety is dependent upon the kindness of others.
Oh yeah.
And that's like I was like. Yeah, that's true. Like, when I plant my neck on something, sometimes I'll just roll to my back because I'm like, they may move and be like, crank, like.
Yeah, I used to do that a lot more.
Yeah, I try to avoid it.
Until I had a few run-ins where I'm like, never again.
Mm-mm.
Like, I'm not just going to leave that to chance, like, or hope.
Yeah, like I try not to plant my neck solo, independent of, like, their other support. Like,
other support ready to go.
Yeah,
like something.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, I don't do a whole lot of, like, headstand. I used to, like, headstand pass and, like, kick over and, like, nah, I just don't. Because I've had people roll over the other way where you're like, oh, no.
You're like, oh, I'm just
yeah. So.
Yeah, I used to, like, free float a lot more and let them, like, take me to my head. And I've just stopped doing that. I just put my hand out and lose some of the control and then just pin better.
But that comes from the experience of rolling. And, again, you're defending yourself. Like,
yeah.
You also be realistic about what you're doing. Like,
yeah.
Like, why do I need to cartwheel pass on my head? Like, I'm never going to do that. Like, it's not really useful.
No.
There's a lot more efficient, effective ways to pass. Like, yeah. It depends.
It depends.
It all depends.
You got anything fun coming up? You guys going to teach anywhere?
Yes, but where? Where is first? New Mexico, if that pans out.
Nice.
There's a guy in New York City. Depending, again, if it works out. Georgia. Going back to Maryland. That one's always very fun. Usually, like, the 3 of us get to go and do that.
Nice.
And that was the first time we ran, like, 1 and 2 simultaneously.
Oh, yeah. I remember you guys
telling
that.
Like, flip-flopped.
Yeah.
It was very fun. And it worked really well. Like, I was, like, beforehand, I was like, I don't know how we're going to do it. And then it worked out perfectly. I was like, cool, that's exactly how it's supposed to be.
I was going to say, I've seen you guys teach all 3 together, and it usually works out just fine.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, when the 3 of us get together, it's great. It's just a matter of, like, at that time, I was kind of like, a lot of people, some of these people have done this, and, like, haven't done this, and I'm, like, was curious how the gaps would fill in.
Yeah.
They filled in really well, and it worked flawlessly. So, just got to go with the flow sometimes. Got to fuck around and find out. Yeah, enter the flow. The circle flow, actually.
Circle flow, yeah.
Enter the flow.
Enter the flow.
We just had our Ohio camp.
Yeah.
And it was fucking hot.
Yeah, those dudes, like, I was there for half of one of the days to do some pictures and, like, hang out. That was hot. Hot. Those dudes are champs, though. They put out.
They did it all.
Yeah.
We went into the yoga room where there's air conditioning at the end. Well, actually, more towards, like, the middle of the second day. We're like, if this is going to keep going, we got to do something. Like, we put them in there, and it worked out.
Especially that second day when they've already done so much. Like,
day 2 is tough. Like,
yeah, it's grindy.
Yeah. And if you're sore from day 1, which you probably are, like, you'll notice it. I understand when people start to drag
like
a little
fade a little bit.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But that's when I try and talk a little bit more. Like, Aaron will take over and, like, talk about some context stuff. And, yeah. We're professionals now, so we got it.
Well, you have like a good read of the class, like, like even like having instructed for many years now. Like I was watching the group and I was like they're fading a little bit.
Yeah,
like the heat's impacting them. Like
it's hurt.
Some of the dudes there are like just starting to get back into stuff like this, or like decided to like come back and do this or like whatever. And it's like I get it.
It can be daunting.
Yeah, I mean, like you're talking about a total of 12 hours of training across 2 days with metered breaks and like all that stuff, and like, but 12 hours of training across 2 days in a hot environment is hard for anybody. I don't care how fit you are.
Like how fit, hydrated, and fed and all that shit. Like it's gonna get you.
Yeah, you're gonna wear down a little bit. Your body's burning more and like responding to the environment, and you're moving and like. Even
trying to take in like complex information, you're like,
yeah, trying to think through that heat. Like,
and we don't do a lunch break, so.
yeah, I did. I mean, I left because I was there to like do this.
Yep.
But yeah, like, because I thought you guys had left when I came back down. I did open mat.
Yeah.
And I walked back down and I was like, where the? Oh, like
tucked in the nice room.
Yeah, I was like, I understand, like.
It's pretty normal. Like we'll like go out Saturday night and like have a few cocktails. So like Sunday, there's times I wake up and I'm like, oh fuck. Even though we were home, I drank a little bit and I was like, shit. And I did a way better job hydrating the second day.
Yeah.
But I was like fried the first day and I drank and I was like, oh, what have I done? Like
made a huge mistake.
Made a huge mistake. But luckily, those salt packets saved my ass.
Yeah, those salt packets will do wonders.
Yeah. Oh, God. I remember just drinking, like, tons of just, like, like normal water.
Yeah.
But it was just, like, flush my electrolytes, and I was just like, oh, I'm still fucked. Like,
yeah, it makes it worse.
Yeah. And I'm like, damn it. Like, I'm peeing clear, but I feel like I'm dying.
Yeah, you're just peeing away all the things you need.
Yeah. So, salt is not the enemy.
No, salt.
Need the salt. I understand why wars were fought over salt and spices.
Yeah, that for sure. Like, that dude, I didn't read it. I need to read it. It's like the history of salt and like its impact on the world and stuff like that. Like, how the antiseptic qualities of it and like.
You need salt. Salt's good shit.
Yeah, you do need salt.
And if I was stuck on a desert island and you had something or, had one thing, a little bit of salt, A
little bit of salt.
I got in like 8th grade. Or no, it was like 6th grade. I had a teacher be like, if you were stuck on a desert island, what would you bring? And everyone in class was like, my iPod, a book. And I was like, a knife, fucking fire starter, and a gun. And they were like, go to the office. Like, I was like, all right. Dumb question. Well, y'all want to live on Fantasy Island, you dumb motherfuckers.
What is it, hypothetical? We don't do hypotheticals on a desert island. Just
like,
survive.
Yeah. Jesus, people. I'm like, I'm the one that got made fun of.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're all dead.
Yeah, you're all dead. Nice iPod. The battery ran out. And
that's an iPod for me. Because now I'm alive. Because
I'm alive.
I have a knife and a gun and salt.
Yeah, and I'm going to start fire with your iPod.
Yeah.
The lithium-ion batteries.
Just gonna
Thanks for the fire for one day, bitch.
Thank you, Apple.
Yeah.
Shit.
All right.
I got a roast at home. Gonna go munch.
Do you? Yeah.
Still got some deer left. And then, what's it? So, 3 months before I go get another one.
Nice.
4 months. So, I get to start smoking critters again. Tis the way. They're delicious.
Tis the way.
And they're just roaming around out there for free.
Yeah. Don't hunt on the king's land.
Yeah, don't do that.
All right.
See y'all next time.
See you guys. That's all we got.
That's it. Goodbye.